Are you exhausted from playing a role in your own life? On the outside, everything looks fine, but on the inside, you feel like something's missing? You are not alone. If it sounds like you, I need you to hear this. You are not broken. You are just out of alignment with your authentic self, and it is costing you more than you think. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 hidden costs of living inauthentically and how to start reclaiming your power today. If you are new to my channel, my name is Dawn and I am the creatrix of practical spiritualism. And we are all about reclaiming our power so that we can create and manifest the life we desire. So if you're anything like the people that I work with, you are probably doing all the right things on the outside. You're showing up for your family, you're checking all those boxes for work, and you are the reliable one in your friend group, in your family. But inside, it feels like you're slowly disappearing. You wonder, when do I get to be me? Who am I beyond all these roles that I am playing? And if that's you, I see you. I have been there, and I promise you, you're not alone. So, this feeling of being off is your inner self sending you a signal. It's saying, hey, remember me? It's time for you to come back home to yourself. And today I'm going to show you how to really start coming back, coming home. And when we move into this, we're going to start talking about the hidden costs of living inauthentically. Because once you see the cost, you'll never want to go back there. So here are the 5 hidden costs for living out of alignment with yourself. And I want you to be honest with yourself while you're listening to these. So the first one is emotional exhaustion. When you're pretending to be okay all of the time, it's exhausting. People think exhaustion comes from doing too much. It doesn't. A lot of it comes actually from pretending that you're fine, pretending that you're okay with things that you're really not okay with. And really, it's all just draining your energy every single day. Consider this. When we are in alignment with our authentic self, our soul or spirit, it is an entity only of present time. It is not in the past and it is not in the future. So that's one of the reasons why when we are really stuck in the past, it can create a bunch of dysregulation within our system. When we get really worrying and future focused, we can get anxious and feel like something's out of alignment there. Well, the same thing goes when we aren't in alignment with ourselves and we're being pulled away from this source. So if this is your power source, of course you're going to be drained by the space that's being made between your ego, your psyche, these expectations that you have, and who you are truly at your center, at your core. And the important thing here is when we talk about free will, you're the one that said it, no one else. So it's your soul, your spirit, your rules, the things that you put out for yourself, your dreams, your desires that are calling for you, not something outside you, the one inside, the one that you've been ignoring for a while. So the second thing is self-doubt. Have you ever noticed that the more that you seek other people's approval, the less you start to trust your own instincts? This happens when we outsource our power. So you constantly look outside of yourself for validation. Does this sound okay? Do you think I should do this? And you lose trust with yourself. And the longer that you do this, the more self-doubt grows. The third one is resentment. So this one is sneaky. You start to resent people who you said yes to. Even though you were the one that said yes, you're angry at whoever else it is. You're angry at your partner for not helping more. You're annoyed with your boss for piling more on your plate. But deep down, you know it's because you said yes when you wanted to say no. And resentment builds whenever we betray ourselves to keep the peace. Peace out there often costs us peace in here. The fourth is identity loss. So if I asked you right now, who are you when no one is asking you to be anything else for them? Could you answer that? For most people, the answer is, I don't know. That's because you've spent so much of your time being the good daughter, the hard worker, the helper, the perfect wife, supermom. So at some point, we lost track. And if you lose track of who you are, identity loss happens. And when you're so busy being who everyone else needs you to be, you forget who you actually are. When I started coaching, I thought for sure I was going to go into identity crisis. And the reason was because after my head injury, all of a sudden I didn't know who I was. I could no longer be super mom. I was sensory sensitive. I could no longer be super wife. I could barely keep track of making dinner. Going to the grocery store was my one event for the day, let alone my identity in my work. All of that was gone. And who was I? And I was very, very lost. The fifth one is missed potential. Now, I say this a bit of tongue in cheek. And if you ever hear me talk about the fact that one of our principles of co-creation is cyclical, we never fully, truly lose an opportunity, you'll understand what I mean when I'm talking about this. This one breaks my heart because I see it every single day. So many people sit on their dreams, waiting for permission to be brave, waiting for everything to feel safe before they take action. But guess what? Safety never comes. You have to create it by living in alignment with your true self. Otherwise, you stay in the same job, in the same habits, in the same relationships, and all of them that just keep you small. So I have to ask you, which of these 5 hidden costs are you paying right now? Are you feeling resentful, exhausted, disconnected from yourself? Be honest with yourself. This is your moment of clarity. So here's the good news. You do not have to live like this. Your authentic self is still there. You didn't lose her. She's just buried under expectations, roles, and perfectionism. And today you can start letting her come home, or you go home to her. I created something called the Authentic Self Blueprint. So this will come into in a page format shortly, but for now, I'm just going to walk us through what this really looks like. So take a moment, settle yourself down, maybe grab a pen and paper. You can go ahead and pause this if you need, or you can come back to it afterwards. So the first thing is we want to spot our signs, self-assessment. So where am I feeling misaligned right now? So take a look at it. Take a look at your life. I feel like I'm performing or pretending in some areas of my life. Check any of them seem true. I say yes to things I really want to say no to. I have a hard time trusting my own decisions without validation from others. I often feel drained or overwhelmed by people, places, or obligations. I'm afraid of being judged if I fully express myself. I know I'm meant for more, but I don't know how to get there. Just check into that. How many of those feel right for you? And then the discovery questions. Where in my life do I feel most out of alignment right now? Work, home, family. Family could be your kids, your spouse, your parents, friendships. Where in my life do I feel most out of alignment right now? What would change if I could fully live in my authentic self in this area? What would change if I could fully live as my authentic self in this area? And what is one small shift I can make this week to step closer to alignment? Micro steps. We're not looking for big leaps. Micro steps. So it could be, where would you like to go for dinner? And rather than saying, I don't know, you pick. If you feel like tacos, say Mexican. Micro steps. Then there's the 3 pillars of authentic living. So where to focus our shifts. So self-trust. Where do I need to trust myself more? So where are you giving that power away? Where are you asking for affirmation? Boundaries. What boundaries do I need to set to protect my authenticity? What boundaries do I need to set to protect my authenticity? Please remember that boundaries are not walls. I talk a ton on boundaries. There's tons and tons of videos, tons and tons of blogs on this. The reason is it is our foundation for everything. So take a peek at that if you're not positive. But let me be clear, boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are like open fences. They say, here's my lines. This is important to me, what's inside of it. Please honor and respect it. And if you don't, maybe I'm going to ask you to leave my property. It's all about respect and cultivating beautiful, healthy, deep conversation and communication. And the other is expression. Where am I afraid to be seen as my authentic self? Where am I afraid to be seen as my authentic self? So it's taking some time with those. If this message hit home for you, I want you to know something. You are not alone and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. I've created space where people just like us can come together, support each other, and have real conversations about alignment, boundaries, and self-trust. And it's called the Awakening Circle, and I would love for you to join us. It is no charge. It is part of our Facebook community. And although it's not usually my first forum, honestly, nobody seems to do a better job of creating community or an opportunity for community like that. It is a private group. You can click it and apply to go in there. And I do that so we can feel safe to speak. So you can also get there by clicking the link down below as well. If you're serious about reclaiming your power, once I have that blueprint up, it will be both on our website as well as on our Facebook pages and probably actually on the Instagram as well. So you can always take a look at any of the socials. And you're closer really than you think. Your authentic self isn't gone. She's just waiting for you to remember her. Take one small step. Take that micro step and join our community. You've got this. Until next time, please stay true to you. This really resonated. I invite you to share this, like and follow us for more, subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Brightest of blessings.